Elizabeth Baldwin is doing what she has always done best, quietly piecing together a puzzle that everyone else is too distracted, too corrupt, or too afraid to solve. Today, we are talking about the woman at the center of General Hospital's most gripping current mystery, Rebecca Herbst, the actress behind Nurse Liz Baldwin, and the storyline that is about to blow Port Charles wide open. Let's start with the woman behind the character, because Rebecca Herbst's journey to this role is every bit as compelling as anything that has ever played out on screen. Rebecca Herbst was born in Encino, California on May 12, 1977, with parents originally from Germany. As a young girl, she told her mother she wanted to be on television, and she spent her childhood as a competitive figure skater, training alongside well-known skaters before giving it up at 16 to pursue acting. She appeared in dozens of national commercials before landing a role that would define her career. She initially tested for the role of Sarah Weber on General Hospital, but she didn't get that part. However, the writers were so impressed by her that they wrote a brand new character specifically to suit her. And that is how Elizabeth Weber was born. That is the kind of talent that does not come along every day. Elizabeth Baldwin has been portrayed by Rebecca Herbst since the character's debut on August 1, 1997. Introduced as a troubled 15-year-old runaway arriving in Port Charles, Elizabeth quickly became a central figure in the series, evolving from a rebellious teenager into a dedicated surgical nurse and a devoted mother to 3 sons, Cameron, Jake, and Aiden. The show gave Rebecca some of its most demanding material almost immediately, and she never once flinched. Rebecca started to truly shine as an actress after her character was assaulted. Liz's personality drastically changed after that happened, and it shaped everything that followed. That storyline in 1998 became one of the most talked about in daytime history, and Rebecca handled it with a sensitivity and depth that earned the respect of the entire industry. Liz is best known for her relationships with Lucky Spencer, Rick Lansing, Jason Morgan, and Franco Baldwin. Each of those relationships brought different dimensions out of the character. Lucky was her first love, the anchor of her teenage years. Rick was complicated, passionate, and deeply flawed. Jason was her greatest pull, a bond so deep, it persisted across years and circumstances and grief. And Franco, the most unexpected of all, became the man who truly loved her and her boys for exactly who they were, before his life was cut tragically short. By 2016, Elizabeth had found clarity in her identity and priorities, placing her sons first and finding stability in her career, friendships, and her relationship with Franco Baldwin, a fellow artist who cherished her and her boys. Losing Franco left a wound in Liz that shaped her choices for years afterward. Here is where the current storyline picks up. When Liz visited Drew Kane at his bedside, he began blinking in an unmistakable SOS pattern, a desperate attempt to communicate from within his paralyzed state. While Liz interpreted this as a hopeful sign that Drew might be ready for communication tools, she did not immediately register it as a cry for danger. But what she did notice was that Nina Reeves was there, hovering in the role of caregiver. And when Liz told Nina about Drew's blinking, Nina never passed that information along to Willow. When Liz approached Willow about her suggestion, Willow was confused. Nina had said nothing. That detail lodged itself in Liz's mind and never fully left. Then came the May 11th episode, and everything accelerated. Nina rushed Jack Brennan to the hospital after accidentally injecting him with Drew's medication during a confrontation with Valentin Cassadine. When Liz questioned Nina about Brennan's medical history to help the doctors identify what he had been given, Nina fabricated a story, claiming Brennan had simply stopped by for a visit and then collapsed without warning. Liz had no reason yet to directly challenge her, but the nurse's instincts were already sharpening. At the end of that episode, Liz brought her concerns to Dr. Lucas Jones, asking him plainly about the statistical likelihood of 2 otherwise healthy men suffering strokes just months apart in the same household. That question alone tells you everything about where Liz's mind is going. She is connecting dots that nobody else is even looking at.